What are the qualities you admire in people?
Yes, desire. I respect a person who's willing to die for what he truly wants, even if it's love, even if it's a woman, whatever it is that he truly believes in, and that he believes that it transcends him to that level to demand for love. For instance, I look at love as a command to just rise to your greatest potential. And that's how people should feel. The objective should be to rise to their best potential in life. If it's to lose 30 pounds, if it's to pass a test, it should be to win a fight, to be admired by people all over the world. It should allow you to rise to your greatest potential, that you look at yourself in the most grandest fashion.
You said to me when we left the special collections, you said, the most stolen items in the world are books.
Yeah, they're most priceless possessions. Because if you think about it, a room without a book is like a body without a soul. We have to, it's the only way that we can connect the future with the past. Without that, there's no way that we can no way we can know about the future, or know about particularly the past or the present. Because when you think about history, the value of history is not necessarily scientific but moral. By liberating our minds and deepening our sympathies and fortifying our will, we can control pretty much. History allows us to control not society but ourselves, which is a much more important thing to do. You know what I mean? And it would allow us to pretty much meet the future more so than foretell it. And for that reason alone, that we always have to, in order to predict the future, we have to always look it through the past, because very rarely does time does not repeat itself, and it always will repeat itself. I've heard a quote before in the book that we would be fools to think historically that the past is us in funny clothes, but the past is us in funny clothes. And that's truly what it is. That's somebody that really said a really profound statement, but he misquoted what he was saying. He must have been saying it backwards, because that's really what the past was. It's just us in funny clothes in different times. That's really what it is.
It's the first 150 pages of the book. You realize that when you've arrived there, you are only 15 or 16 years old, and you've lived 100 lives, it feels like. The intensity and extremity of the life is so extraordinary. One feels that it's nearly incredible that you're so young.
I don't know why. I was born with great perception. If it came from my street life, from being locked up for stealing and facing unbelievable odds as a young kid, I had great perception. And once I watched these guys fight, I just knew it was a matter of time, but I knew my time would soon come.
And you also had a perception that your life would not last.
No, but I knew I would attain my goal before it existed. I knew that. I knew I would be champ of the world before I died. I knew I wasn't going to die before I became champ. Dying is just as glorious as living when you really think about it, because you couldn't have a life if you didn't have death, and you couldn't have death without life. So how could death be less glorious than life? They're both intertwined with one another.
One thing you said to me that struck me before we spoke tonight, you said Cuss put you on a pedestal and then cut you down.
Oh, absolutely. I remember I was a young kid and I was getting put on the front cover of maybe Ring magazine at the time. A big time magazine it was. Could have been Sports Illustrated, but one of these magazines, I got put on the magazine, and there's a bunch of cameras around there, and I was feeling myself. I was smiling, laughing with the guys like I was a big shot. And then right after that, Cuss said, grab the broom and mop and sweep, clean the gym. And whoa. And that's just what I had to do. You know, I just knew my place with him. I just knew my place, you know. Like things I would say with other people, I would never say with him. He would only have to call me one time and I would be there. He would never like, hey, be there in a minute.
But fame, which came so strongly afterwards, do you think it messed with your life?
Oh, mess with my life? Of course it did. I was never accustomed to handling that type of pressure.
But he didn't prepare you for that.
Oh, yes, he did. I just didn't listen. Oh, he prepared me for all that stuff. He taught. Look, I was prepared for all that stuff when I was 16 years old. I was prepared for all that stuff.
You didn't
Plus
listen.
was like Nostradamus when it came to that stuff. He had experienced it before. And I was prepared, but I didn't want to listen. I thought I was special. I thought everybody else it could happen to, but not me. And that's what most guys think. It's not going to happen to me. How could it have to happen to me? I made more money than him in one fight than he did in his whole 25 years of fighting. How could it happen to me? I must be ordained by God. I must be
Alexander the Great.
Yeah,
That might be.
I must be yeah, I did think that.
I know.
I did think that. I think I must be a descendant of the great warriors of old, all the gods of war, because I'm winning with the most simplest of ease. How could these guys even dare fight me? You know, but it was really all about cuss, and I forgot that. You know, I had a great teacher. You know, and not necessarily that I was a great fighter. I never think in my deep heart, I never think that I was a great fighter. I don't think I was a great fighter.
You didn't?
No.
Really?
No. But I'm an incredible student. I'm I'm an astronomical student that I could project greatness without being great. And that's why I succeeded so much. I would quote books, I would quote stuff from great warriors, Pericles and all that stuff, and people would think that is incredible, you know. But, it wasn't. It was just all illusions.
Show?
Yeah, and that's what comes with being a great entertainer. It's all about illusions. Listen, I'm going to beat 6,000 people, 6 billion people in a fair fight. Come on. And
It's, as you said, it sounds good.
But it can be believed, but it doesn't necessarily have to be true. And I can reject that belief in the minds of others.
What's going through your mind at that moment when you've lost?
I'm saying, oh shit. I'm saying, okay, he got this one. I'll get him back again.
So is boxing for you really about revenge?
No, it's just that, you know, I never take my losses personal, you know, and that's very difficult for athletes of any field to do. I've learned that from Cuss. That's why he's been such a great mentor to me. You know how it's just not to be taken personal, because it would drive you nuts. And I just knew that this is why, in all disrespect, and I'm not trying to be braggadocious or sure, but this is why I'm successful now after boxing, because I didn't take it personal. I'm not trying to even the score. Evander's still fighting. He's still trying to even the score. I'm not trying to even the score. I'm moving on to other places which are probably dark and places I've never been before, but I'm not afraid to go there. I'm not afraid to lose in life. I'm not afraid to do anything. I won't do anything. Matter of fact, I won't do anything. Matter of fact, like my show, there's nothing I would do unless I have a possibility of being humiliated. If I can't be humiliated, if I fail, I don't want to do it. Because only by doing that, I will rise to my highest potential with the fact that I might be humiliated, and I don't want that to happen. But when it does happen, then I will truly be humiliated. Because when I succeed, I truly succeed. And that's why I'm here with you.